Hi everyone, this is Judy from Judy's Handmade Creation, and today I'm going to show how to do this work on a Priscilla weaving loom. It's adjustable 10-inch loom. It has everything in here. It has the 10-inch adjustable loom, the 4 screw and 4 wing nuts, weaving needle, weaving comb, and the 24-page instruction book that tells you how to create your some of the projects in the book. And this is how it looks. And most of the projects here are done with mainly yarn. And if you want a kit like this, you can get it. I got this one from Walmart, the local Walmart. And if you're Walmart, you might be able to get it online at Walmart. And if your local Walmart don't have it. And you have to put it together. This is the loom, and that's the comb. That's the booklet. And you get the weaving needle. It's got a hole in it. And you get the screws and the wing nuts to put this together. Okay, so we got that. This book explains everything. How to do some stitching techniques and pile stitch and weaving a curve and tying off bottom of the projects and getting started. Okay, so I'm going to try to use fabric and some yarn. First you have to put your loom together. Yeah, so you have to use these screws and wing nuts here to put it together. I can't get that open. Boy, they really put these packs where you can't get it open. Let me try to pull it apart. I just want you to see how easy it is to put the loom together. And that's the ones you gotta put on here. So what you do is you put it together. And these slide on the sides, and you make it as big as. If you're going to use the whole loom, you can put, maybe if you want a smaller one, you could make it small like this. It's got these different grooves that you can use to adjust it. But we're going to use the whole full loom. And then these go on the ends. These all go on ends, and you get these little wing nuts to screw them on. Then you flip it over, and you put the wing nut on the back. It's really easy to put it together. And just tighten it up and do the other end like you did this end, because you got 2 for this end. And you put the screw down in the hole. And you just flip it over and you put your wing nut on it. And now your loom's right together and ready to go and ready to warp. So it looks like this. I don't think I got okay, it looks like this when you get it together. And then you're going to warp your loom. And it shows you how to warp it. This page here shows you how to warp your loom. So you take any kind of cotton thread or yarn or whatever you got. And you take and tie a knot down here and make, you can use the full loom here or you can use just a portion of it. We're not going to use the whole full loom, we're just going to make a little one. I'm going to just tie it about right there. And let's tie it on. And then what you're going to do is you're going to start warping your loom. I'm going to start warping it like this. I have to write. I usually go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this should be about, I try to keep it on the same and just go back and forth around it. About like that. Around these little things here. And make it as big. You can use the full loom or you can use just a portion of it like I'm going to use. So make it as big as you like to warp. We're just gonna, we're gonna skip 5 pegs on this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over here, and then we're gonna just cut it and tie it on that end. We're gonna cut it, tie it. I'm gonna tie it up underneath. And then we're going to just tie it around this one here. Make sure it's pretty tight. And I just tie it one more time to make sure it's pretty nice and tight around that last warp. I guess it won't fall off. That might be pretty good. Okay, and then you're going to take your needle. What I did is I took in, torn some fabric. That's what I'm going to use for, but we're going to weave in here. We're going to weave in here with what color? We'll weave a couple rows of this white. we're going to take and weave a color down at the bottom, and then we'll probably make some fringes there. What color would be good for the bottom? I'll weave in some what color just got in it? Brown. This has got like a brown, a white. Maybe use this thick white. This is like a 5 yarn. We'll weave some of this in there. I'll use about as much as you think you're going to need. And then you're going to just tie it down. It shows you how to get your loom ready. And you just weave it in and out, 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 like that, in and out of your warp. Pull it through, and then you go. You have this one, then just go and weave. You have this one up. See how that one's up over? Then you can go under, over, under. Weave back the other way. You want to pull it through. And then you're going to go, see how that's over top of the white? You're going to go under the first warp. This can fill up pretty quick. You're going under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, and just pull it through. And it looks really pretty. See how it's getting a weave in there? Then that's over. Then you can go under the warp here, and you're weaving in and out of it. I'm just going to use all this that I cut. And if you use a thicker yarn, and it works up pretty quick. If you use a thinner yarn, it takes longer. So you just weave in and out. And this is a small project, weaving loom. And then you just keep weaving until you get all your yarn that you got on your needle filled into your weave, your warp. Yep, and that's how much I got left. So I guess we'll maybe one more time over. And that'll take up all that yarn that I had. I had got too much yarn, but you can use as much as you want. I know that, maybe one more, because it's a long piece. And if it don't look the way you want it, you can rip it out and do it over. You don't want to pull it too tight because then you mess up your ends here. So don't pull it too tight because you don't want it to look pretty even. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take maybe some of this blue yarn here and make maybe some fringes for the bottom. Put some fringes around here. And this is long too. Cut you out a couple pieces. I don't know if this as long as you want it. So mine's about, cut it about 12 inches or longer. And then you can take and cut them with your scissors. You can take and put this you can put these on the strings that you got here. I think maybe one. And they have like a little fringe there. And put like a little fringe. Just loop it in like this. That way give you a little bit of fringes up there. And then if you don't cut them, you can always shape up the end of it. See how I leave a little loop there? And then you take and stick that through. You're going through the two strings. That's what I do. Everybody probably do them different, but that's the way I do it. Let's cut you a couple. Cut you enough strings to go across the whole, your whole loom, or however many you have. You can use as many as you want. I'm only going to put one here. Well, maybe I could have did two. I could have did two together. Let's see how two would look. Give it more of a... You can take them out if you don't like the way it looks. That's what I usually do. If I don't like it, then I take it out and do it the way I want it. See, they're easy to take out. These are. You take them on out. And instead of using one, you can use two fringes. You don't have to put fringes. You can do it whichever way you like. But if you like fringes at the end, like they got on the front of the book, you can do that. And you just pull it tight. Yeah, it looks better with two fringes. I don't think I cut my strings even, but it'll be okay. I'll just trim them off when I get it to where I want it. And then you can make them the way you like it. You can make your fringes shorter or longer or however you like. That's the best way to do it. Cut them the way you like. I just measure them up a little bit. They don't have to be perfect because you can cut some off if they're not even at the bottom. And yeah, this is how you do your fringes on there. I'm only going to do this bottom fringe. And then you just take 2 or 1 or how many you want to make, how many you want hanging at the bottom, and you go around 2 warps and just tighten it on there. Like that. It's like tying it on the warp. Just even them up as much as you can and make them even on the ends and just loop them on there. You can do it any way you like. If that's the way, whichever way you like, no fringe, with fringe. And you can make some small wall hangings. This is, oh, I think I got that one wrong. I had to redo it. I didn't have it looped right. And if you get the bulky yarn, it works up quick. Yeah, the bulky yarn's better to use because you can get your weaving done quicker. And I need a few more. So just cut them up to about 12 inches long, or how long you like your fringe down the bottom. I think I need about 4 more. If you use 4 medium yarn, you have to make your fringes, you have to use more for the fringe because that's a thinner yarn. And I just go around the 2 warps up. I'm going to do it like this and then pull the end through. And that tightens it up on there. See how it's got the loop, and then just tug it and it tightens it and leaves it like a little knot up there. And these are fun to make. Looks sort of like this, and that's up underneath, but you had to put that down there to hold these fringes on. You don't have to do as much as I did, but that has to go in if you want to. And some of these fringes are longer. All you gotta do is cut them off. You can trim them when you get them done. Okay, then what I might do next, is add some of this fabric that I pieced together. I'll show you how I do that. You take and cut your fabric thick as you want. These are about 1 inch. And you take and flip this down like this, about like that, and then just hold that down and then cut a little slit up here so you can piece them together. And then the one that I got, the real long piece, how do I do this now? You got cut slit on the other end the same way. Fold that down and then cut. See how you got it folded down? And then got a little slit right there. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take this end and put in this in, and then you're gonna, no, that's not. Now I gotta put a slit in this end here. I put it in the wrong end. You gotta put one in this one, but you can still use that at that end. And you put this in here, and then you take and pull it through. Okay. How did I do that? I just did it now and I can't remember how I done it. To put that in there, and then you pull it and tighten it up. I'll show you another one when I get to it. I'll show you that again because I got my. And then you're going to take this and run through there, but you try to fit it through your needle. I made a long one here. I pieced the long piece together because I had some short fabric that I had. And then you're going to just zigzag it in and out, in and out, in and out between all the warps. In and out of the loops. I think I got that wrong. You're going to zig in and out of your, like we did down. I'm going to go up at the top because that bottom is confusing me. You're going to zigzag in and out, in and out, in and out. Then I'm going to pull it through. You can make sure this is on the right side if you want to. And I got a real long string, which I shouldn't have made it that long, but I don't know if I'm going to use the whole thing. I can rip it out if I'm not. And just pull it through, leave a little tail there. And then you just, that's over, then we'll under, over, 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 and then pull it through. And you're weaving some fabric through here. Don't pull it too tight because then it'll distort it. I need to use this. I keep using my fingers to push it down. And then you going back and forth again. Under, over, under, over, under, over. Just weaving it in and out through your warps. And then just pull it through. And this is, I made this a long. And you can weave in them tills that you got back there if you want to weave them in. Like this here can be weaved in there. And you can flip it around. You got the little knot there where we pieced it in there. You take your little comb here and you can push down the weave. And then we just go back again. Weave it in and out, in and out, in and out. Oh, came out of the needle, but that's alright. I can put it back in, ain't no problem. And then you can show the right side of the fabric if you like to see that part. And that's how you're weaving. See how you got it weaved up? And it's just weaving in and out. You can weave them ends in. I'm just going to use this whole part. Oh, that's what I had. See how that's over the warp? Then you can go under that one. You go under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over. And this is a good way when you got extra yarn, you can use up some of your extra yarn that you got. Use them for a couple of these projects. Just pull it on through. You can turn this the way you want to see if you want to see the pretty colors. And it's starting to look nice. Don't pull it too tight because you don't want the side to get too distorted or bent up or whatever you call it. And see how that one's over, under. Then you go under, over, under, over, under, over. And just go back in the opposite warp. And the fabric looks pretty nice because I never did it. Oh, I gotta take that out because I missed one. If you miss one, then you have to take it out like I'm doing. This here. And you can just pull it on back and just do it over. I missed the end one. See where I missed that one? Okay, and then just weave up your needle again. Okay, I forgot to go. Let me see. I'm gonna make sure I got it right this time. Let me see. It might be right. Okay, you'll tell if it ain't right because you'll see that you missed one. Under, over, under. Just weave back the other side. You can take and cut this off or do as much weaving as with the fabric as you want. And if you want to, you can leave some loops sticking up. And looks pretty. This is like a red, a tan, a dark tan, a blue, a white fabric. I never did try this with fabric. And take your little comb and you can push them down. And if you don't want all this, you can probably take these apart and switch it up. You can do some more blue yarn. Let me see if I can make it shorter. So I took and linked so many of them together. Yeah, you can take them. Just put many fabrics as you like. I think I overdid it with the fabric. I'm just going to take this one out and make it shorter. You can take them out and make it like that. I'm just going to use this piece here and then I'm going to weave it with some more of the blue. And then you can just weave this part back in and out until you get to the other side, because this is a long. There we go. That might be alright to keep that piece like that. The pieces that you have, you can just, on the end, you can weave them in, or when you get your project done. So I'm going to tie this on the end so it doesn't come undone. I know everybody might do something different. It's what you want to do with it. Yep, it's whatever you want it, how you want to do it. Don't get the sides too distorted. Now I'm going to use some more of this blue bulky yarn. And maybe we'll weave that in and out, and then we'll do some more fabric. Maybe make some longer loops. Okay, we ended on that side, so we're going to start back on that side with the yarn. Just under, over, under, over. You can tie this with this if that's what you want to do. Or you can just leave it like that till you get it done. And go under, over, weave back and forth. And this is turning out pretty good. The color in it, the yarn and the fabric that we use. I keep pulling out my yarn out of the needle. And go back the other way. You can make cup holders, cup, what do you call them thing? Cup coasters, or whatever you call it. Or you can make a wall hanging. You can even make a purse if you make it bigger. Just in and out, in and out. Use your comb. I keep forgetting to use a comb. And you can push it down. That'll weave it. Push it down and make it look tighter. Then go back the other way. Under, over, under, over. You'll see if you miss one of them, it won't look right. Mine keeps getting hung. Just pull it through. You can go back again and then use your comb to push it down. Under, over like you would. I think I got that. Nope, I got that wrong. I gotta go back and take it out because I ain't got it right. I think that other row I got wrong. See, you can tell if it ain't right. The warping string shows too much. Let me see if I push it down, how it's going to look. Let me see. I keep taking it out of the needle and then just thread it back in there. Let me see if I can get this right. I tried to just go through it, but I better go weave it in and out. There I go. I pulled it back out of the needle again. See, every time I go to pull it through, I'll pull it out of the needle. I gotta hold on to that. See, that's over. Then gotta go under. You'll be able to see everything you do to make a small one, because I'm not going to edit anything out of here. If you want to watch the whole thing and see how that yarn is over here, you're going to go under that warp there. And then you can leave these strings a little loose to make it look like it's a little textured. Like say you want it to, you can take and pull up these loops. You can pull the loops off, make it look like it's got like that on it. Give it a little bit more texture. Just pull it up. You can make it look a little looser. That's under. And go back. You could do that and give like a little loop up there. You can even do this side, just leave the yarn a little looser like this. Just to give it a little loose. I don't know if you can see that, but just don't leave the side too loose over there, because it won't look right. Yeah, make sure it's looking like a loop. You can just pull it up a little bit like that. And you push it down and see how it looks. I don't know if you can see how the loops up there. But yeah, you can leave it like a little loop. And then you can just take and weave it. Let me see if that's right. I might have to redo it. Just keep weaving in and out until you use up all. So I wanted to leave like a little few loops. Let's see how that works. And let's go back under, over, under, over. You're just going under and over. And just take your comb and push it down. The comb is what makes it, it tightens it up to keep the weave in. I don't know if you can see the little things that I put there. And it's starting to look pretty. Weave together. Maybe I can weave it back to the other side and then add some more of this fabric to it. I go under, over. All you're doing is just weaving it in and out. Okay, so I'm going to just leave that like that and then take some more of this fabric here. Because I still got some of that. And just weave up at the top. And then with the fabric maybe. And then weave it in. You can tie that when you tie it to the piece of yarn if you like, or tie it to the warp. Yep, you can tie it up under here. You can tie this together. Just keep weaving it in and out. See how that's over? Then you can go under. Over. You can go under that warp, over, under, over. Just keep doing this same as you've been doing all together. And we'll end it with the fabric. That we pieced together. I'll show you how to hook the link the fabric together again. For these little projects, you don't need to link that much together like I did. Then it'd be too long. You can get the fat quarters in the store, like at Walmart. They have fat quarters that you can take and buy the fat quarter fabric. And then take your scissors and cut it to about 1 inch. And then you can push this down. You want to make sure you're not distorting your weave. What's that one? Both them over. Oh, gotta go back. I gotta put that one over. I'll put both of them under. Okay, there we go. Under, over. You got to go under and over each warp string that's here. Because if not, you'll be able to tell if the weave ain't looking right. And then take your comb and push it down, but I've been using my hand. If you use bulky yarn, it's easier. It works up quick. If you use a 4 medium yarn, it takes more rows to weave. And if you use fabric, it works up quick too. You can use ribbing. You can use ribbing, fabric, yarn. I'll work all the way, go all the way up to the top of it. And if it's not, you want one more piece of string, one more piece of fabric, you can piece a piece on here. Put that through there, and then just cut a little loop down here. And then take this piece that you loop through there and then loop it through here and just pull it tight. And it'll link them together, or it makes it longer. And then it's starting to get a little frayed, so I'm going to cut that off. You can just keep linking your fabric pieces together, strips. And just in and out your loops. Your warp. gotta be careful because sometimes I'll pull this off there. That's under, over. And take that and push it down. See how that's over? You can go under that warp and under, over. If you end with a under one, then you have to go over then in the next row. I keep pulling this out. And so you can see the texture where I left the little loops right here. You can leave like a little loop in it. And these can be all weaved in or okay, let me see the bottom. What I'm going to do to the top, I'm going to add a rod in it. And then I'm going to cut the bottom to make little fringes down there. I'm going to see where I put my stitch. You can use a rod like this, or you can get a bigger rod. You can cut, I usually just cut these rods and then just sand the ends down. These are round doors that you get from Walmart. These are wood, or you could use a small branch or from a tree. But I got some of these already. Some of these already had cut it down. I want to see which one is going to work with this. That's too small. Needs to be a little bit bigger. You just get one that you know is going to cut one down. It's going to work with it. Whatever size you need. This might be good to make it a little bigger. I'll cut that one down. Then you can just sand the ends if it's going to be rough. What you can do is you can take these strings off of here and just slip it through this on this what do you call these? Round dowels, or whatever you call it. You can just put them on there. Just add it on there. It's going to use it as a hanger. And you can take a piece of your yarn, whatever color yarn you want to use for the top, for the hanger. You could use a piece of this, what you weaved it with, and make it as long as you want. and just tie it on the end. I'm just going to tie it here on the end so it don't fall off for a minute. And you can just make it as long as you want, however long you want your hanger to be. I'll leave it a little long because if I want to, I just take it out and redo it. You can always remake it. And you're going to take the bottom here. This here is going to be cut and tied together. These here is going to be cut and tied together. So you're going to just take each one out separate. Well, you can take them out all together. Just don't let them slip up through the weave. I'm going to just use my needle to hold them so they don't get lost in the middle. Because you can lose your string and not know which one you got to tie together. I just cut it off. Take and move this loom, and then these down here we're going to tie each one together. I'm going to cut these two here, and we're going to just I'm going to try to push them up first. See if I can push it up to the top. You can retie them if they're not right. Just tie them so it don't come out. And then maybe you can push them up after we tie them all together. You want to just make sure you get a knot in there. These ones that was on the bottom of the warp. See how these ones that was on the bottom of the warp, all you're doing is you're cutting them and you're tying them together. Yeah, just cut and tie. And leave like a little string down there, but we might have to redo it again. So we're going to just cut them and knot them together. Cut the loop and tie it together. Now to try to hold it until you get the top of the rod on there, the wood rod. There's one more to tie, cut and tie. I'm going to tie it with this one that we tied on the loom. You can tie that one with this one. So that should hold it for a few. I'm going to try to push these up on the loom here, so to make this a little tighter. And let's try to push it up there. Yeah, you gotta try to push it until you get it up there, or you can weave some more in the top. Yeah, let's try to work it up. I just try to push it until I get up to the top of it. Yep, push it on up. And that's the back. We gotta weave in all these ends here. I'm going to try to get it where these loops will be small up here. push it on up. If you had a bigger stick, you wouldn't have to push it up. This would fit perfect around there. But I only got the small sticks. I just want that to be tied up there so the stick don't fall off of it. There you go. Yeah, that looks pretty good. There we go. I got a lot of that. You could tie these together. Because that's going to be the back. This is going to be the back of it. Just don't tie it too tight because you make it look a little crooked on the sides. That's just going to be the back, so the only person going to be looking is to probably be up against a wall or something like that. So yep, that's the back. And you really can't tell when you tie it or weave it in, so it should be okay. Yep, you can't really tell it. And just make sure you get that loop up here where it don't be right, so it'll be right to the top. You can shape up your bottom and fix these down here again. Trim them up, make sure they're tied right. Because you want to make sure this is what's holding it together down at the bottom. Them knots. If you can, just pull it a little tight, pull it. You can retie them again if you don't trust your tying for first time. You can redo it. I'll try to make it pull it in to get a little tighter up here, make it a little shorter. Yep, you can pull it. You can pull these and get them tighter. And then retie it. I think I might try to retie them. Get it laid flat, because sometimes when you pull down the bottom it tightens these up here. And you have to tighten them up. It looks pretty nice. I'm just going to retie these again back here to make sure they're nice and tight, and I'm going to trim them down. I'll try to double tie it, and then I'm going to just trim them real short. Just tie each one again. This is the bottom of your, this was the bottom of the warp string. Just tie them in a knot again after you tighten them up. As many knots as you want. Make sure that knot was too long. Getting ready to thunder here. The sky is getting dark. Now, if you would have left these longer, and you could have used this as the fringe string, the fringe on it. And I'm just going to tie them up. And then I'm going to cut them down to and this is about how long it would take to make one of these. I'm not editing this. Nothing's going to be edited on this video. That way you can see how long it will really take to make one of these. And then I got to fix the top of that one. This has got to be adjusted right on the top. I'm going to weave this one in with the thing here. I might have to get a little small weaving needle. Let me see if I can get a small one. I think this might be too small. Let's see. This is like a yarn needle. Yeah, this is a yarn needle. Let me see if I can weave this in this back. You can weave it in. Yeah, weave it in the back a little bit. And then just cut it off. That's what I'm going to do. Just weave it in and cut it off. I'm going to weave that one in and cut it off. Everyone that I use for the back. I'm trying to weave that one in. It's short, but I probably could weave it in. And then just cut it. I think I'm going to weave these, cut these, and weave that in maybe. I'm going to just cut that, I tied that in, tied that. And cut this one off. I'm going to try to weave this one in, this fabric in there. I'm going to hold it there and then weave it to the back. A little down the side. Let's see. Let me make sure they distort at the front. And I'll weave it. Gotta make sure it looks okay. That ain't right. You can try to weave it in the back where the fabric's at. I'm just going to weave it like one, weave it in on the top part. That way and hold it in there. Just try to keep it going, weaving it in. Yep, you could do this is the back of it, so as long as you got the front looking alright. Just weave it in until you get to the other end. And let's try to use all that, weave it all in there. And then you can just cut it. Yeah, you can just cut it once you get it the way you like it. And you can pull it down a little bit. Yeah. And just cut off your back. And it should be almost right. You have to get all the ends weaved in. How do you cut? I'm going to trim these down again too. These here. You don't want them sticking out that long. Just trim them up. Yeah, just taking, you can weave these in. Cut that off. Let me try to weave that in and then we'll be almost done. This is the back that I'm weaving it in. And just weave this in between here just to hide it, and then you cut some of it off. Okay, I'm gonna weave in the other one, and then I'm gonna cut this piece off. I'm gonna weave this one in. Weaving both in. Just weave it through the back. That's going to be enough because I'm going to cut it off. So this is the back. And you'll see that it is the back because it's got some knots in it. And this is, I'm going to try to weave a little bit of this fabric in, and then I'll cut that off. You can weave in your ends, but if you want to make it easier, take and try to weave it behind when you're weaving your project. That way you won't have all this weaving and stuff. A lot of people do it like that. Yep, you can weave it in while you're weaving your project. There's different ways you can do this. You just got to find a way that works good for you. Okay. I'm going to cut that down a little bit because it's too long. And it's showing. Get this. Yep, and then this, try to get your warp strings at the top looking right, like that, and get all your threads off of here. You can fix the bottom. You can leave the string longer, or you can make it shorter. You can cut. I think I'm gonna cut some of this off because that is, it's too wide, and I want it a little short. I don't think I got a shorter stick for it. That might work, but then I'm gonna have to sand the side down. You can change these sticks. I might put a shorter stick on here. Make sure when you're moving this, you don't lose your warp strings. You don't want them to go inside and you won't be able to find it. Nope. Then you won't be able to use it as a wall hanging. You want to make sure you don't lose those. See them strings there? You don't want to lose them inside your weaving. But then you probably won't be able to find it. I never did that, but that can happen. Let me see how this smaller stick works out. There won't be too much stick on the top. And try to tie it. And double tie it, and tie it again, tie it until you think you got it tied, you know. So it don't come off. I'm going to tie this one on this side. Yeah, you can use the longer stick or what length you want. I think this shorter one might work for me. Yeah, however you want how long you want your stick to be. That might work, because I don't want too much stick hanging on the top. Then I'm going to probably sand that in. This is a long video. And this is a small wall hanging. And that's the back. You can tell that's the back because you can see some of the strings hanging on it. Doesn't look too bad back there. And this is the front, and I'm going to cut these off. But you can leave it as long as you want. Leave your string as long as you want. Your tire. There you go. And then if you want to, and these down here are a little bit too long, you can shape these up. I'm going to shape them because they're a little uneven, see? Pull them tight so they'll be nice and tight on there. And then just cut it the way you want. You can hold it and cut it. And make sure they're going to be even. I'm going to leave them longer. And then try to cut the other side like that one. And then it's finished. It's finished, and it looks pretty even at the bottom. I'm gonna make sure. And there you go. There's your wall hanging. I'm going to try to put it up because I can't zoom this in. I got this a little there you go. You can hang it on the wall. And you got your nice little wall hanging. Hang up on the wall. And this is, I could have did a little better with tying that. And there it goes. You can make them bigger or longer or whatever. I'll tell you how big this one is. This one measures from side to side measures 3 inches, and from here to here would be about 5 inches, and with the fringe would be about 12 inches. So it's about 3.5 inches wide, and the weave part is about 5.5 inches to here, and then the fringes are 6 inches. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe, and make sure to like, if you like it, like the video. If you're new here, subscribe, and thank you for all my subscribers. Thanks for watching. Be blessed. Bye-bye.